Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel for another Bitcoin update. So I think the next move for Bitcoin is in the next 24 hours. What is the direction? What are my price targets? Let's talk about it. Well, starting off on the daily time frame, I want to share a couple of ideas evolving around support flip resistance. This is going to be a relatively short video, so I'm just going to get my ideas out as quickly as possible. Now, looking on the daily time frame, since Bitcoin's all-time high up at 69,000, we've had many times where we've had support flipped as resistance. In fact, if I highlight this here, you can see we broke down, formed a bear flag. This was support down here, support finally flipped as resistance. What happened when support flipped resistance? We got slaughtered. What happened after then? We broke down, we formed another bear flag, support. That support got broken, we flipped support as resistance, and we massively capitulated. Let's zoom in again on the daily time frame. We formed another bear flag, support, flip resistance. What happened after then? I don't need to tell you, this was up at 20,500, and since then we've been capitulating down to 18,500. So we know these support flip resistances are very brutal, and sometimes we know that they do take a couple of days, a week or two, to pan out before the next major breakdown. The last one that we had was instantly breaking down into new lows. This one over here that was more long lasting took a very long time to actually flip the support as resistance, and we had many times we bounced up and made lower highs with every single bounce. And this looks exactly like what we're doing over here. Since we broke down, you can see the retest here, you can see a lower retest right here, lower retest right here, lower retest right here, and even now if we do get continuation, even if we push up to 20,000, it's going to be another lower high on the daily time frame. So while we're still talking about support flip resistance, what is happening on the 4-hourly time frame? Well, if I remove this very quickly, you can see it's the same story playing out time after time after time again. You have on the 4-hour, this was the daily time frame bear flag. You can see the support was going up and up and up, and support flip resistance here, and we broke down. And then, like I said, it's the same story on a different time frame. You've got support, you tried to retest it a few times here as you were moving up, you broke back down. What happened as soon as support flip resistance? You broke down into new levels. After then, we broke down to the floor, broke back up and retested the box above our head. So that is one important thing to note. We did solidify new lows and then come back up to the top of the range, and then after then, as you can see, support, flipped resistance, we immediately moved down to new lows, and we haven't really come back up and had a super proper retest at this moment in time. I mean, we did come up and test it very quickly on the daily time frame the other day. This is definitely valid enough for me, but nonetheless, I think the real resistance is going to start coming in as we run into these 4-hourly EMA ribbons. Now, clearing this up, let me show you what I mean. Without even looking at any lines on the chart, you can see the last couple of times we run into the long-term moving average, specifically on the 4-hour, we get absolutely wrecked. So you can see we crossed the long-term here up at 24,500. We came up to the long-term moving average here at 22,000. We broke down, came to the long-term moving average here at 20,500. Broke down, long-term moving average 20,200. And at this moment in time, it actually does look like we are moving up to the long-term moving average on the 4-hourly time frame again. This could mean that in the next 24 hours or so, Bitcoin, yes, can get continuation to 19,700. Here's a couple of other reasons why I have my eyes on 19,700. If we draw out the VPVRs, you can see the next major area of support over on the volume profiles for the visible range is right around this 19,800 to 20,000 region. Now, also, if we pull this up on the weekly time frame, for this, on the left side of the screen, we're looking at the fixed volume profile since the drop all the way down in March of 2020. And on the right side, we're simply looking at the volume profiles for the visible range. And with this, over on the fixed volume profiles to the left, the last amount of support that we've got coming in really comes in at 19,600. Anywhere beneath there is curtains. And over on the volume profiles for the visible range, and 19,200 is your last line in the sand. So these are my price targets to the downside that I would be looking at. But with that being said, to the upside, we do have support over on the VPVR up here at 20,500, and over on the BTC USD, once again, around about this 20,000 over here. We've got support, and if I clear this up once again, One other region that I'm looking at right now, if we head over to the 1 hourly time frame, you can actually see we have been forming a bull flag and we are breaking to the upside of this. This is on a unlog scale, so you can trust the price target is going to be up here at 20,200. These are a couple of targets I'm looking to have play out in the short term. What I'm personally looking for at this moment in time is for either this 19,500 to be the rejection point, up here at 19,800 to be the rejection point, and then if we clear there, sure, we can go all the way up to the bull flag price target of 20,200. Now, what's happening in the markets is kind of strange, because yes, it does look like we are looking to move up in the short term. However, it's very, very strange across the board. So for example, on the S&P 500 mini futures, we were forming a bearish top formation, also known as a diamond top formation. This is meant to be a bearish indicator. These normally play out like 90% of the time, but we did break to the upside of this. This can still be a fake out. We haven't really cleared the high of this. I'll keep you up to date on this, especially over on Twitter, but it looks like we're breaking to the upside on the S&P 500 mini futures, which should obviously mean the stock market should get continuation to the upside. Looking at the DXY on the daily time frame, it does look like we are taking a slight breather. However, on the 4 hourly time frame, it does look like we could just come right back down, find support of the long-term moving average before moving back up. So while in the lower time frames, I would definitely advise caution, because we can get continuation, specifically if we do push above 19,550. If we never get above there, the price targets I mentioned at the start of this video will not be coming into fruition. But if you do see a big move above 19,500 for Bitcoin, like I said, the next price targets are at 20,000, 20,200. This is kind of where I'd be looking to target. Now, I personally don't care about this break up to the upside, and I don't want to say, I don't want you to think when I say don't care that I don't care about creating YouTube videos, or I'm not passionate about what I'm talking about. I love making these videos. I love talking to you guys as a community. When I say I don't care, I really mean for this trade, it's not appealing to me. So I would be saying at this moment in time that the risk to reward of looking to long this or buy this up to, you know, whether you're looking at the 19,900, 20,000, 20,200, the risk is just way too high. I talked about this earlier in some of my other videos, but the Eurozone just had its largest interest rate hike ever. Unfortunately, the Queen of England, Elizabeth II, has died today, so rest in peace to the Queen. That is more bearish news for the markets. Like I said, I talked about this earlier in my news update, but we had a Powell meeting, we had a ECB meeting with Christine Lagarde, and these were both extremely bearish, and since then I believe the QQQ, or the TIP rather, the TIP ETF is moving to the downside while the stock market's moving up. Oil isn't really doing too much today. So there's a lot going on today, and this is why I'm saying I don't think the risk to reward ratio is in your favor for this trade. There is just too many contrary signals at this moment in time. Some saying we're bullish, some saying we're bearish. But like I said, higher time frames, my friends, my opinion has not changed. This support flip resistance is coming right into fruition, and you can even see, you know, potentially another move up, another lower high. Like I said, we can move up to 20,000 and still be having lower highs from here, from here, from here. So this trend is still clearly playing out to the downside, in my opinion. That's all I really wanted to talk about today. On the weekly time frame as well, I will say that there is a lot of stagnation in some of our momentum indicators and some of our oscillators. However, looking at the MFI on the weekly time frame, we are at 50. We've just topped out at 50. We're actually at 37 right now. So what I meant to say is we came up to the heart line at 50. We got rejected, and now we're moving down. This is not a good sign. You might be thinking we're quite low on the heart line for the MFI, and yes, you would be right. But nonetheless, let's look at where we were the previous time. The previous time we were at 37 on the MFI was the 2nd of May. Where were we on the 2nd of May? 40,000. We managed to literally get absolutely rugged all the way down to 17,800 before a bounce took place. So just because the MFI is pretty low right now, this type of area, I've said this before, this type of area for the MFI is normally where the majority of the bounces happen in this market. So it is looking pretty bearish right now for Bitcoin. In the higher time frames, I am of course expecting continuation. I'm expecting continuation in the dollar, 111, 112. But in the short term, my friends, keep your eyes on 19,500. It does seem like the S&P 500 mini futures are choosing to move to the upside right now. We do still need to have a solid break above 4,011 before we can call this continuation. But nonetheless, this is what I see playing out in the short term. Be very, very cautious for any scam pumps in Bitcoin in the next 24 to 48 hours. The direction for Bitcoin in the next day or so does seem to either stagnate underneath the 19,500 or get a little bit of continuation before the next leg to the downside. Like I said, I personally don't care too much about this trade. The risk to reward ratio is way too high. So I'm just letting you know what I see in these markets, a couple of situations, but I won't be trading these. So I wish you the best of luck, my friends. That is all I've got for you today. If you do want to follow me over on Twitter, it is here at 618_cowboy. But I'm going to leave this here as always, my friends. Cowboy out. Peace.